stickers, and educate people on the brewing process and about what we do. So, I got where you guys are from, but what are you guys in sales and retail? So bars,
restaurant bars.
Restaurant bars. Cool, cool. So any of you done some home brewing? Familiar with the process?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So won't get into too much detail on the process. I'm personally a home brewer myself. Been home brewing for about 6 years now. I've been working with Bella since 2010. We actually started a tour program about a year and a half ago. We started doing tours downtown. You guys were already downtown,
right?
As I understand. So we got a tour of our little 15-barrel system, which we got going in 1992. So we were brewing on that, as well as the 30-barrel, up until 2002 when we reached our production capacity at that location, 35,000 barrels of beer downtown. Couldn't do any more beer in that space. No room. And then, as you notice, train tracks on 3 sides, and then Kalamazoo Avenue on the south side there. Not really anywhere to grow. So Larry actually came out here and purchased about 30 acres of land, and we built a new brew house from the ground up. We're now standing in the 5th expansion that we've undergone out here at this facility. We just opened in May, so very, very new and fresh. Currently we're brewing some Two-Hearted. I think we have it in a few different spots, so at any time, feel free to look in and see what's going on. We can start though from start to finish in terms of the production. We won't go into too many of the details of everything, but 4 main ingredients of beer: water, malt, hops, yeast. Of course, we do use some adjuncts, but we use it as in terms of flavor enhancement, never for trying to cut costs on making our delicious beer. So we have a massive new grain handling facility. So beforehand, we were doing all the specialty grain was dumped by hand from 50-pound bags. With this new grain handling facility, we're able to choose which silo we're going to take from and select which grains and how much. So made the brewer's job a little bit easier in terms of getting batches of beer done. Beer dumping on the 50-barrel system, anywhere from 10 to like 40 50-pound bags of specialty malt, which is you're sore the next day, to say the least, after hauling that much grain. So we can take 2 trucks per day is what we're taking on average right now, but we have the capacity to take 5 trucks per day. A truck holds about 45,000 pounds of grain. We have 16 silos that each have a capacity of 50,000 pounds. So 1 truck, 1 silo, a little bit of spare change in there. So right now, 2 trucks per day. In the future, we probably will be taking our maximum of 5 trucks per day. So series of bucket elevators, slide conveyors. Depending on the recipe, the grain eventually gets conveyed and dropped here into this first vessel, which is the grist case. So that's basically the blend of malts that will make up that beer. So certain beers, have a lot of different varieties of malts. Did you guys ever get a chance to try the batch 10,000? So there's 101 different types of malt in there and 68 different varieties of hops. So a lot of choices when we're making our beer. But with Two-Hearted, there's only like 4 different types of malt. We always start with base malt. Two-row makes up the majority of the beers. We're actually the #1 customer for Breeze in Chilton, Wisconsin for 2-row base malt. We use it in most of our beers. And of course the specialty malt. So we've got our mix, or grist as we call it. Underneath the grist case is the mill. What we transition from traditionally we were using a dry mill where series rollers and cracking grain, exposed to starch and enzymes that we're moving to yet using the mash process. This is a wet mill. We're actually adding water during the milling process at mash temperature. We're beginning the mash as we're milling. And that's all transferred into the mash vessel, which I think we just mashed in about 5 minutes ago. So there's some big old paddles down there stirring up the malt and making sure that the temperature is evenly distributed throughout the grain. So once that's finished, we transfer that whole porridge into the lautering vessel, which is obviously the largest, 22 feet in diameter. It's huge. And it actually got shipped here in one piece. This whole new brewer system was built in Wisconsin. by GEA Hupman, which you can see on these things. The Hupman there and the coat of arms on the collar there around the exhaust tubes. Probably after the last Hupman system to be built. We're integrated into GEA. It's all going to be GEA from now on. So this is one of the last Hupman systems. Kind of cool. Maybe, I don't know if they're going to build more Hupmans. So that was shipped all the way from Wisconsin. All these other vessels came across on the SS Badger. That one was too big to fit on the SS Badger, so it was on a truck the entire way from Wisconsin through Illinois, Indiana, and up into Michigan. It needed a state trooper to escort it the entire way through every state, as well as could only drive during the day because it was so large. 22 feet is actually 2 lanes, 2 highway lanes. There's actually a great picture of that thing on the truck. Another truck trying to pass it. Our guys pulled as far as he dares over where the edge of the water tunnel is about hitting the mile markers. And then the other truck's full on over the shoulder so that it's nowhere near the vessel. It's a pretty incredible shot. I think it's on our website, so check it out. So the reason that's so big is so that we can distribute our grain bed so we don't have too thick of a grain bed. So for our lautering process, we're able to go a little bit quicker. Basically what we're doing is we're separating that spent grain from the wort. Taking the wort, transferring it into this guy, which is our pre-run kettle. Basically batter on deck. The wort waits there until the boil kettle is ready to receive it. And then the spent grain gets sent to a, we use compressed air to shoot it out to our spent grain silo at the far end of the building, which then gets picked up by a local farmer for livestock feed. It's pretty cool. Repurpose that grain. So 12,000 pounds of grain on average per batch. A lot of grain. You guys have any questions so far? Too much detail, too little? Good? Good. All right, cool. I don't want to get overwhelming with too much information for you guys. So, all right, so once we're finished, we've got the wort like here. We go over to the boil kettle. We've got a nice rapid boil going right now. Be careful, the vessels are very hot. This one in particular is very, very important.
Did you run through the 68 hops that were in batch 10,000 before you?
I only picked up 65.
Yeah.
Charlie said
63 for me.
Charlie 62.
I got 62.
He didn't taste the crystal at all in there.
Yeah. I've been thinking it's been bullshit for the past 2 years.
Yeah, it's 60, 68, I mean, 65 tops.
Airline 68 kettle editions and 35 dry hop.
I would guess 39.
Yeah.
Alright, so just to give a name to these vessels, we've got our hot liquor tank, energy storage vessel, and cold liquor tank. So liquor is just the brewer's term for water. In traditional times, apprentices, what they call brewing water, anything besides liquor, they can get stuck with all the crap jobs for the week. So I try to keep that tradition alive. It's liquor, not water. So, boil kettle. Do a couple things here. Boiling liquid, which achieves sterilization of our wort, achieves a little bit of caramelization. It also allows us to extract the alpha acids from the hops and isomerize them. So we're adding our hops during the boil. We usually do typically 3 hop additions in the kettle, as well as sometimes, depending on the beer, a whirlpool addition, and then we do some substantial dry hopping additions in particular beers. 2 Ardent being one of our more massively dry hop beers. But per 400 barrel vessel, there are several hundred pounds of hops in each one. That's a lot. So with hops, early additions, we get bitterness from them. Later additions, we get flavors and aromatics that we're looking for. So that's what we're doing at this point. Some cool things though about our boiling vessel in particular, the method of boiling. So a couple ways that you can boil liquid. Standard one that you guys use in your kitchen, direct fire. So electric or flame on the bottom of the pot. that heat will eventually get it to boil. Once you're getting to a scale of like 6,000 gallons of liquid, it becomes relatively inefficient. So other methods are using steam jackets on the sides of the vessels, internal tubes, and then there's another steam method which is called calandria. So you use a pump and you run the wort through a series of tubes, and the tubes are jacketed with that steam. And as you circulate the wort through those tubes, the steam brings it up to a boiling point. Kind of a hybrid model. What we did is we took the calandria and we bolted it to the bottom of our oil kettle. So at the beginning of the boil, we run the pump to get it going through the tubes. Eventually, much like a coffee percolator, that heat makes it a self-sustaining circulation process. So we're able to turn that pump off. Regular, normal calandrias, we actually have to run the pump the entire duration of the boil. We're talking around 90 minutes on average. This is actually a unique design for two bells. Designed in-house by Bell's employees. There are currently only two of them in existence. This one and our other one. Maui Brewing Company in Hawaii is actually considering using this concept of boil. We actually publicize it information so that no one's happening. But then you know so great idea.
So this is the fantastic Bell's Brewery in Comstock, Michigan. If you're ever in town, check it out, do a little tour, and then head to the Eccentric Cafe downtown in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where you can try all the Bell's beers and try some of their great food and sandwiches.